Hello, I'm Lori Stos. Welcome to Get Your Mind On, where we teach you strategies to help you change the way you think, share ideas to inspire action, and give you motivation to reach higher levels of success. What's the one thing that we all have the same of? It's time. We all have the same amount of time in our day. But how come some of us get so much done, and some of us, well, not so much? Do you ever catch yourself saying, I don't have enough time? I wish I had more time. If I had time, I would just do this. We always seem to be spending more time on what we don't have, or thinking about where our time is going, or feeling our time is wasted, when we should really just think about where are we spending our time. From the time we get up in the morning to the time we go to bed, we have approximately 16 hours of time in our day. When you think about 16 hours, what an opportunity for us to get a lot done. But do you go home at night and lay your head down on the bed and think about, gosh, I didn't get all this stuff done? Or what did I get done? Or why didn't I get all those things done? Well, leaders and managers through my consulting business have asked me many, many times this constant question about how can I manage my time better? Can you help me with time management? I need more balance in my life. Those are questions that I'm asked every day, and you might be thinking the same. So let's first think about that. What's the first thing you need to do to think about managing your time better? Well, first, stop saying, I don't have enough time, because we are then living in a lack mode, that when we don't have enough of something, we just attract more of that. Versus saying, just don't say anything at all, or say, I have enough time to do that. That might be a shift for a lot of you. The second thing would be step back to observe. Observe really where you're spending your time. Track your time. Take 1 week and track where you're spending your time, whether you use your calendar or a spreadsheet. And we're going to give you a spreadsheet as one of your tools to really think, where am I spending my time? But don't judge it. Just step back and observe and wonder where that time is going. It's kind of like some of you may have spent some time when you want to save money. You go and you start tracking and keeping track of every penny you spend and wondering where the money goes. And all of a sudden you realize, wow, I didn't realize I was spending money there. Well, that's the same type of thing we're doing here, is thinking about where do I spend my time? But unless we really start tracking it, we really might not know where that time is going. So once you do the tracking, step back and think about, where is that time going? Do you see any commonalities of maybe areas like useless time or wasteful time where you might have a lot of TV time? Maybe you just go on the internet to find an answer to one question, and 2 hours later you're still on the internet. Or maybe you like video games and you use that as a stress reliever, and sometimes just start playing one time of World of Warfare and all of a sudden it's 3 hours later and you're still playing. And so you really have to think about, where are you spending that time? So if you decide it's time for change, now you really need to step back and think about, how can I make that change? Ask yourself, first, is this the best use of my time? Second, is this something I want to do? And third, is this what I want my life to be? Because it's really our choice to make that time our time, and it's really our life that we're creating. Now, some of us may want to say, you know what, I do need some relaxing time, and I do want to play a video game, or I do want to watch some TV. That's totally fine. But really, I want you to be aware of it. So really, you need to establish some criteria for yourself. And that first criteria would be to be conscious. So if you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to relax tonight and go home and watch TV, but I'm going to do it for an hour. Just be aware and be conscious and make sure you're doing it in moderation. The other way to look at your time is your values. What we value is where we spend our time. So many of us say, our family is very important to us, and we do our time tracking, and all of a sudden we look and say, gosh, I'm only spending 30 minutes a day with my kids. Is that really what you value? You might value your family more, but you recognize that I'm really not spending that much time with my family. So what a good way to really look at where you're spending your time, because where we spend our time is what we value. There's never enough time to do everything, but there is enough time to do the most important things. The great thing is, you get to choose. There's a great quote by Carl Sandburg. Time is the coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. Be careful lest you let other people spend it for you. So just think about that. That's sometimes where our time goes. Our time goes where other people want it to go versus where we do. And we really need to step back and just think about, is that where we want to be spending our time? Because this is the life that we get to create. So let's take some time to think about our positive charge for this week. First, go back to what we talked about in terms of tracking your time. We have attached a spreadsheet here that you can use to track your time, or also if you use a calendar, like if you would use a Microsoft Outlook calendar, you can go in and block out times and even color code your times of where you're spending your time. Make sure you track it from the very beginning, from the time you get up, and also include the time that you're sleeping. Include exercise time, kid time, work time, anything that you're spending time on, even quiet time. Please track that so you have a good feeling of where you're spending your time. Second, take some time to list out your values. What are things that are very important to you? Take some time to look at your values and look at your time spent. Is there alignment between the two? If not, it's time to reevaluate. Please remember to visit us on Facebook at Facebook/GetYourMindOn and like us. Also, you can remember to go back to previous versions of Get Your Mind On by visiting the website where you access this video. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and remember to get your mind on.